funny brain story of a woman in her 40s who's suffering from terrible insomnia. It was a typical night for Susan, a woman in her 50s who suffered from terrible insomnia. She tossed and turned in her bed, trying to find a comfortable position to drift off to sleep. But no matter how hard she tried, sleep just wouldn't come. As she lay there staring at the ceiling, her mind began to wander. She started thinking about all the strange and funny things that her brain had been up to lately. It seemed like every night her brain had a mind of its own, coming up with wild and outrageous thoughts that kept her awake. One night, Susan's brain decided to entertain her with a series of bizarre dreams. In one dream, she was a famous rock star, performing on stage in front of a crowd of adoring fans. But just as she was about to rock out on her air guitar, she suddenly realized she was wearing nothing but her pajamas. The audience erupted in laughter as she frantically tried to cover herself up with a guitar strap. In another dream, Susan found herself in a high-speed chase, with the police racing through the streets in a stolen ice cream truck. As she weaved in and out of traffic, she couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. It was like something out of a cheesy action movie, complete with dramatic music playing in the background. But the most hilarious dream of all was when Susan's brain decided to create a romantic comedy starring herself and her crush from high school. In the dream, they were on a date at a fancy restaurant, sipping champagne and laughing at each other's jokes. But just as things were starting to heat up, Susan's imaginary dog burst into the restaurant, chasing after a squirrel that had somehow found its way inside. The chaos that ensued had them both in stitches, unable to stop laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. As Susan lay in bed reminiscing about her crazy dreams, she couldn't help but laugh at the antics of her own brain. It was like having a comedy show playing in her mind every night, with new episodes of ridiculousness unfolding with each passing moment. But despite the humor of her overactive brain, Susan couldn't shake the frustration of her insomnia. She longed for a good night's sleep, free from the endless stream of thoughts and dreams that kept her awake. She had tried everything from meditation to white noise machines, but nothing seemed to work. Desperate for a solution, Susan decided to seek out the help of a sleep specialist. The doctor listened as she recounted her funny brain stories, chuckling at the absurdity of it all. But beneath the laughter, he could see the exhaustion in her eyes, and knew that her insomnia was no joke. After a thorough examination and a few tests, the sleep specialist diagnosed Susan with a condition called REM sleep behavior disorder. He explained that during the REM stage of sleep, her brain was sending signals to her muscles, causing her to act out her dreams in real life. This explained why she was experiencing such vivid and bizarre dreams that kept her awake at night. Armed with this new knowledge, the doctor prescribed a medication to help regulate Susan's REM sleep cycles and prevent her from acting out her dreams. And to her surprise, it worked like a charm. For the first time in months, Susan was able to drift off to sleep peacefully, free from the hilarious antics of her overactive brain. As she woke up the next morning, feeling refreshed and well-rested, Susan couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of her insomnia journey. It was a wild ride filled with comedy, chaos, and a touch of imagination. And though she may have lost a few nights of sleep along the way, she gained a newfound appreciation for the quirky humor of her own mind.